All right then, good folks of Tredegar, it is that time of the evening. Are you all ready for your main event? Can we have the first participant to the ring, please?
One of the most unique champions environments I have ever known. A masterstroke, some might profess, for this title. The Trinity Championship can only be contested under triple threat rules. There are no countouts. There are no submissions. In most cases, Reese, there are no rope breaks.
That is correct. What you'll find with the Kingdom, we love high risk, high reward, and a triple threat match is just that. And if you put a championship at the end of that, well, the reward is ever so sweet. But you've got to be careful. Two opponents, like, you've got to keep an eye on two different people at the same time to try and come out on top. The champion has his work cut out for him.
And the champion,
Alex Vaughan is brutal.
The champion also has no champion's advantage. In a regular title match, if you were disqualified or counted out, you could still walk away with your gold. But because of the lack of DQ and count-out rules, the champion, Josh Hawley, if he wants to walk away with his title tonight, he has to either pin or submit either ALUNA or Alex Vaughan, and those are both very tall tasks.
Absolutely. But in order to lose the title, he doesn't even have to be involved in the decision. It's such a risky game, but it's what the Kingdom is all about.
Well, you say it's a risky game, but Josh Hawley contested his career here in Dragon Kingdom under these rules. Not only did he win the Trinity Championship in that final triple threat, but he also beat Ethan Thomas and Eddie Dennis in a triple threat qualifier for that match. So Josh Hawley, no stranger, of course, to these matches. Maybe more well acquainted with them than his opponents tonight, who gained entry to this match, not in triple threats, but in a unique four-way, which saw two falls to the finish. One going to Alex Vaughan.
We have the final opponent to the ring, please.
One going to Alex Vaughan over Ethan Thomas, and one going to ALUNA over my former broadcast colleague and the worst human being to ever exist, Dale Johnson.
I mean, that's a bit much, but I can't say I disagree.
True, you can't really call him a broadcast colleague. Now, the champion on his way out, the history maker, the modern classic, the belt collector, Josh Hawley. And what a beautiful belt he has added to his collection with that Dragon Kingdom Trinity Championship.
I may be a bit biased, but it's a damn fine looking championship.
A fine championship around the waist of a fine champion. Now, if you like your champions playing by the rules in the strictest sense, you are not going to like Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley will find a rule and he will exploit it. He will find an injury and he will exploit it. Any chink in the armor, and Josh Hawley has his sights firmly set on it. And that is what makes him such a dangerous champion.
We talked about the Einstein of wrestling earlier. Josh Hawley could fit that bill. He'll find a way.
The following competition is your main event, and it's for the Dragon Kingdom Wrestling Trinity Championship. In the corner to my right, from Newport, Alex Vaughan.
The only man that could ever intimidate a brick wall.
Corner to my left, from Cheltenham, the Wonderland, ALUNA.
The Wonderland Warrior is ready to go down the rabbit hole to become the Trinity Champion.
And directly in front of me, he is your current reigning and defending Dragon Kingdom Trinity champion from Merthyr, the non-classic, Josh Holly.
Perhaps the greatest threat this company has. So it's fitting that he is the king of triple threats. Josh Holly, Alex Vaughan, ALUNA. One winner, one champion. Who will walk out as the Trinity champion tonight in Tredegar?
What I like about these triple threat contests, it takes countouts and disqualifications out of the equation. We have a decisive winner by the end of it, whether it's pinfall or submission.
The thing with that as well is you need CIA level surveillance skills to be able to survive in a match like this. As you said, eyes in the back of your head. Anything goes at any time. Your opponent can enter the ring with a chair and nothing can be done about it. This is all-out warfare, and this is a beautiful, beautiful time to challenge for a championship. Beautiful way to contest for a championship as well. Josh Holly gaining an early advantage. Vaughan down, but that advantage may not last very long. Hold on, Holly's out. Alex Vaughan and ALUNA, of course, gaining entry to this match in the same contest. It may feel for both of them that they can't avoid each other.
Absolutely. Huge tilt-a-whirl, head scissors there, snap there, and a drop kick to the face. ALUNA is sure to compete at the highest level, and you gotta respect that.
Alex Vaughan currently 2-0 in the Kingdom, debuting in June against Visage, and a very impressive victory for the killer in that one. And of course, as mentioned in November, that fatal four-way victory where he pinned Ethan Thomas with the help, of course, of Bevan, which is a contentious subject tonight, Reese, I'm sure.
Absolutely, a prime example. Holly with his back turned to one of his opponents. It's a risky move.
It's a very risky move indeed, but a riskier move would be to allow anyone to leave the ring almost. You'd want everyone in front of you. You'd want everyone in the ring so you can keep a close eye on everything they do, the way that they're moving, the way that they're thinking. So you can sense a lot about someone just by looking at them, especially in a high contact sport like professional wrestling. But Alex Vaughan dropping Holly down and into the cover now. But a kick out from the champion.
See what this allows ALUNA can get her bearings. She can grab some fresh air. And she paid for trying to get back in.
Hold on. Holly giving himself a pat on the back, but ALUNA remains in the ring. And ALUNA, only her second appearance here in the Kingdom, made her debut in that four-way in November. And of course, defeating Dale Johnson to earn entry, whereas Josh Holly had to defeat James Ellis and Harrison Bennett at that very same event in the main event. And what a main event that was.
Absolutely, all three were a prime example of championship material through and through. But Holly was the one who could come out on top.
Well, champions material you mentioned. ALUNA. Now this is quite interesting. We haven't got the final four participants in the Women's Championship tournament, Reese. You know these details, but I'm not privy to any of them. ALUNA could be successful in this match and become Trinity champion. She could also be a participant, maybe, in that tournament. We could see ALUNA quickly rise and become a double champion. It's a possibility.
It's a very astute observation there, Kai. At the end of the day, we're keeping all options open when it comes to the participants of the Women's World Championship tournament. And I'd be lying if I didn't say ALUNA was in the mix.
So ALUNA, highly rumored, highly speculated to be continuing, even if she is unsuccessful in her quest for the Trinity Championship. We may see a lot more of her in the shows to come. And there still may be gold at the end of the tunnel for ALUNA, but that is just pure speculation on my part as the general manager, trying to keep as much information from me as possible. And Josh Hawley trying to keep the championship away from Alex Vaughan as much as possible with that huge open hand strike to the face. And hold on, teamwork.
An easy alliance.
Bear with us, just out of our line of sight, I think. Just out of line of the sight of the Raven's Nest that we find ourselves in, as ALUNA chopping Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley had somewhat of a breakout year last year, racking up championships everywhere he went. The Trinity Championship, the final gold he achieved, whether they were 24/7 championships, world championships, or Outbreak championships. Josh Hawley would collect every single piece of gold that ever fell in his path, and he does not let go of gold very easily.
Absolutely, these two challengers, Alex Vaughan and ALUNA, are going to have to pull out all the stops to try and pry the Trinity Championship from Josh Hawley.
Here we go. We've spoken about the lack of disqualification. Alex Vaughan introducing a chair into the mix. Take a seat, ALUNA. Alex Vaughan very insulting in his demeanor, but ALUNA reversing the insult with a drop kick, sending Vaughan's head careening into that chair. Very smart move from the Wonderland Warrior, as Vaughan's head connecting with the hardest part of the ring, some scientists claim.
Josh taking ALUNA over to the one side.
Hold on. Oh no, on the upturned chair. ALUNA once again saving herself, and now it's the champion that goes head first into one of the venue's chairs.
There's talk about irony. Josh Hawley brought that chair into the situation and he paid for it.
Only bring in weapons you yourself are prepared to take the heat of. If you wouldn't like to be hit with it, don't bring it into the mix. But ALUNA right now somehow standing tall. But Vaughan quickly rising up to join her. And now both participants, both challengers, vying for control. Hold on, ALUNA caught in the ropes. Very dangerous place to be. Josh Hawley rushing at Vaughan and takes a kick to the face from ALUNA for his troubles. Hold on, wait. Josh Hawley using the venue to his advantage. The truss sticking ALUNA's arm through it. That metal is unforgiving, Reese.
It doesn't bend, but bones will break.
They will indeed, and especially with the force that Josh Hawley puts behind everything. We always talk about him being an old school fan. Well, if you watch wrestling from the 80s or the 90s, Reese, you would know that they never held back either. They would always hit you with everything they had, and Josh Hawley hits you with all the force of an oncoming truck. And then some, but Alex Vaughan does much of the same, and hoping now to slingshot the champion into the ring post. And he does, and the champion.
Well, ALUNA's up on the inside. Alex Vaughan is unaware at this moment.
Alex Vaughan could not win the championship on the outside. If he wants to win the championship, his best bet now is to take ALUNA out in the center of the ring. And ALUNA wants to put up a fight, but moving out of that crossbody may have been a master stroke for Vaughan. And that back suplex. Alex Vaughan may be counting down the seconds to the championship, and a kick out from the Warrior.
Josh needs to get himself back in the ring, otherwise he is at risk of losing this championship right here.
His championship is well and truly under threat. And when you talk about threats, Alex Vaughan is almost always at the top of that conversation. I've seen this man kick holes in people, it feels like. He drop kicks you, and your career loses about 5 years of its lifespan. But the same might be said for Josh Hawley. He is unrelenting, unforgiving in that ring.
Just like that, he's on top again. Is the championship awareness.
If he spots a weakness, he will make the most of it. And right now, he knows that the arm of ALUNA is worse for wear. But he also knows that his own head is worse for wear after going off that chair and coming off the ring post. So Josh Hawley knows he needs to play this smart. He needs to be careful in this match to avoid any exacerbation of that injury. Using the ring to his advantage. Not much the referee can do other than tell him off. But knee to the back of the head of Vaughan. And Hawley well and truly in control of this one. Commentators cursed, meeting to the minds with Vaughan. And again, ALUNA in control. And you said this earlier, Reese. It is always about that one split second. It can all come down to that. The momentum can completely change in an instant. And we have seen that time and time again in this match so far. And I'm sure we have not seen it for the last time. But ALUNA maintaining control.
A well-placed drop toe hold there, taking both Hawley and Vaughan out of the equation.
Maybe breaking the nose of Josh Hawley in the process and injuring Alex Vaughan in an entirely different way. Alex Vaughan hooking his arm over the top rope. Josh Hawley heckling Alex Vaughan there.
It's not the match to be arguing. You just need to get the job done.
I believe it was constructive criticism, but nevertheless, ALUNA knows that this may be a perfect time, oh my God, to take the championship for herself. That chop to Alex Vaughan, lighting him up. Good God, are we in Tredegar or are we in Blackpool? Because these people's chests are lighting up like Blackpool illuminations. What a triple threat we find ourselves in. These men clashing, giving it all they have. But hold on. Big boot from Vaughan, and now the champion is in trouble.
Brain buster!
Sheer drop brain buster, and that is all. Or at least it would be if it wasn't for the timely intervention of the Wonderland Warrior. ALUNA keeping things alive in this Trinity Championship triple threat.
It's always the third person you need to keep an eye out for. ALUNA, prime example there, managing to keep herself in the game.
Triple threat wrestling is an art form in and of itself. You could be a talented tag team specialist. You could be a powerhouse, a brawler, a success in singles competition. But in triple threats, the game entirely changes, and we have seen that on full display throughout the tenure here at Dragon Kingdom Wrestling, and I'm sure we will continue to see it through the lineage of the Trinity Championship. But for right now, Alex Vaughan and ALUNA are learning firsthand how difficult a triple threat match can be to obtain a victory. Neck breaker now, and Vaughan in trouble, in for the cover, and dragged out by the champion.
Talk about awareness there. Hawley knew that his title was in jeopardy, and he sorted a solution.
But he hasn't completely solved it. ALUNA back to her feet on the apron, as Alex Vaughan still feeling the effects of the headbutt from Josh Hawley earlier in this match. Up to the middle rope now, and Vaughan looking, it seems, for maybe a suplex. It's a big drop that Vaughan just felt firsthand. ALUNA off the back of Alex Vaughan into a Hurricane Rana. This is why we call her the Wonderland Warrior, because you look at her and you wonder how any of this is possible. Headbutt from ALUNA, code breaker to the champion, and now the championship is in her grasp, but it is snatched at the last minute by Alex Vaughan.
All three are giving it their all tonight. All three want to walk out as Trinity champion. Who wants it more?
This is
going to get
the
their
defense.
feet?
This is the first defense of the championship's entire history. Only one match before this has ever been for that championship, and it was to decide the inaugural champion. Josh Hawley does not want to be the first champion and also the first champion to never successfully defend it. Although that might be a very real possibility. Roll up from ALUNA, but Vaughan staying alive and clotheslining her head off. Letting out a primal wail there is Vaughan. He is not very pleased at the current situation he finds himself in, but I don't think ALUNA would be either. She is struggling for breath after that clothesline, Reese.
It's coming to the point that all three are now trying to figure out what more do they have to do to come out with a win.
Well, that's the thing. You not only do you have to incapacitate one opponent to pin them, you have to incapacitate the other one to make sure they can't intervene and break it up. That is the strategy. That is the difficulty with coming up with a strategy for a match like this. It is never straightforward. I've got you beaten, I'll pin you, I'm the winner. It's I've got you beaten, I'll pin you, but first, I've got to suplex this man off the face of the earth and come back and pin you to win this match. It is always evolving. Every second that goes by in this match, the threat becomes even more real.
Vaughan just wasting time here. May pay for
May
it.
have wasted too much time. ALUNA rolling through. Vaughan once again able to get that shoulder up, but it seems like he is getting closer and closer to that third second every single time. ALUNA once again attempting it. A bulldog on the very top of Vaughan's head. Staggered him but didn't take him down. And
ALUNA going up
ALUNA
once
now
again.
holds on. Leg lariat taking Vaughan down. But the champion, as we said, cannot get disqualified for utilizing this championship belt. The challengers would be very wise to eye up that object as well. It could benefit them tremendously in this match. But Vaughan hoping to put ALUNA away. The headbutt. And now, look at that huge DDT. But Josh Hawley throwing ALUNA out the ring, hoping to steal it. And he does. He is still your Trinity champion.
Like it or not, Josh Hawley has done it again.
The winner of the match, and still Dragon Kingdom Wrestling Trinity Champion, Josh Hawley.
An open-ended match from beginning to end. It was never a guarantee that Josh Hawley would walk out, but he was able in the end to capitalize, eject ALUNA out of the fray, and defeat Alex Vaughan. Josh Hawley moves forward into 2025 as your Trinity champion. Reese, what a champion you have.
Absolutely. However, in similar fashion to how he won the title, getting rid of the opponents that maybe did all the work and then stealing a victory at the finish.